Seattle's Morning News. This is Dave Ross. There are now about 500,000 open-heart surgeries in the U.S. every year, and as of 3 weeks ago, 500,001. Let's call in the doctor.
Paging Dr. Cohen.
Dr. Gordon Cohen, cardiac surgeon. And by the way, thank you for providing a second opinion on my own procedure. And for people who don't know, this is why I've only been making occasional appearances on the show, because I'm still in recovery. And Gordon, it's the first time I've ever had my heart stopped. And my surgeons keep explaining to me, well, you know, that's what you've got to expect. It takes a while. But what I want to know from you, as someone who's done this many times, when you come to the point that you have, you know, you've operated on the heart and you've done the bypass, or in my case, taken out the tumor, and it's time to start the heart up again, what is that moment like?
Well, it's a pretty surreal moment, but I think to really put it in perspective, well, first of all, it's good to have you back. I was honored actually to be able to discuss your situation with you beforehand and even talk to your surgeon before and afterwards. So I'm glad that everything went well, and I was quite confident that it would. You know, the whole process of heart surgery is pretty interesting. So how do you stop the heart and keep somebody alive? Well, it wasn't even possible until the 1950s when the heart-lung machine. And what the heart-lung machine does is it does exactly as it sounds. It does the work of the heart. It does the work of the lungs. So we actually hook the patient up to this machine, and we take the blue blood, the blood without oxygen, away from the heart, and that's the venous blood, and we run it through the machine, through the pump, which works as an artificial lung. That's the heart-lung, the lung part of heart-lung, and it exchanges gas. It makes the blood red. It puts oxygen on the cells and takes carbon dioxide off the cells. And then it pumps the blood out to the body the way your heart was doing. And so once you're on the heart-lung machine, you don't need your heart anymore. And so we can actually stop the heart. And we do that by depriving the heart of blood, and then we instill a solution down the coronary arteries. And that solution is rich in potassium. And as we all know, potassium, you know, will stop your heart. And that's what we use it for clinically. And once that's done, we can then do what we need to on the heart. We can open it up and fix things inside. We can replace valves. We can take tumors out. And in fact, even still, many coronary artery bypasses are done. That's when we provide blood flow to the blood vessels of the heart muscle itself. But once that's done, we then have to take the clamp off and reperfuse or bring blood back to the heart muscle itself. And every time it happens and you watch the heart restart, it's sort of surreal that you have stopped the heart and it restarts. But you know what? It starts virtually 100% of the time. And that's because the heart is really designed as an organ. It's designed to beat, and it wants to beat. And if we weren't giving it this solution to keep the heart stopped, it would beat. And frankly, even when we have it stopped and we're depriving it of blood, if we don't repeatedly give that solution, the heart will start to beat again anyway. So every time it happens, even I've been practicing cardiac surgery for over 25 years now, and every time I see the heart start, it still amazes me that it works this way. And it's the whole experience is sort of surreal, and it never gets old. So the heart is biased in favor of keeping you alive. That's good to hear. Now, are there any advances in the recovery time? Because everything I read says, you know, full recovery, we're talking not weeks, we're talking months. Right. So I do think we've gotten better at understanding that. I do think we, you know, have pushed patients more over time. I think we used to let patients convalesce in the hospital for quite a long time, and we would keep them on limited activity. But we've learned that the shorter amount of time you spend in the hospital, the more you have a patient act like a person and less like a patient, the better they will do. I think I've walked almost a mile without keeling over, so I'm going to build on that and get back as soon as I can. Dr. Gordon Cohen, MD. Dr. Cohen, thank you. Thanks, Dave.